5 high schoolers find forever change their lives. Upon learning the responsibility of owning the coins, will they be able to live up to it? Let's find out in the movie. Long ago, a team of warriors called the Power Rangers was created to defend life on Earth and a gem named Zeo Crystals. However, they are betrayed by their very own comrade, the Green Ranger. The Green Ranger, also known as Rita, was consumed by greed and power, wanting to get the Zeo Crystal by herself to dominate the universe. When Rita arrived and threatened to kill Zordon, the Red Ranger, he blessed the 5 power coins to seek the 5 worthy people who will continue their mission, then ordered a meteor strike in hopes of killing Rita along with himself. The impact then sent Rita to the ocean. At the present, in the town of Angel Grove, a high school football star named Jason steals a cow for a supposed prank and tries to escape using his pickup truck when the cops arrive. Suddenly, a truck appears out of nowhere, causing his pickup to crash, eventually leading to his arrest. Because of the incident, Jason is removed from the football team and placed under house arrest. Furthermore, he needs to attend detention classes so he can graduate. Before the detention class starts, Jason sees a nerd named Billy getting bullied. As the bully starts breaking Billy's pencils, Jason pushes him away. The bully turns his attention to Jason and attacks him, who easily evades the punches, and in turn slaps him so hard, threatening him not to get near himself or Billy ever again. At this time, their professor arrives, while a cheerleader named Kimberly heads out to go to the restroom. There, she meets with her friends, only to find out that they're cutting her off and removing her from the cheerleading team. Due to that, Kimberly angrily cuts her hair short. After class, Billy catches up to Jason and thanks him for what he did earlier. Then, he asks Jason if he could accompany him tonight to the minefield. However, Jason declines, pointing out that he can't go out past 7 p.m. because of his house arrest, showing Billy his ankle monitor. Fortunately for him, Billy knows how to hack the monitor and offers to do it for him if Jason will drive him tonight. Hearing this, Jason agrees to Billy's offer. Later that day, after hacking the ankle monitor, Jason drives Billy to the mining site and drops Billy off at the entrance. Meanwhile, somewhere near the mining site, a student named Trini is doing yoga while listening to metal songs. Unknown to her, she's being watched by another student named Zach, who's living in a container van just around the corner. At this time, Jason hears something from a distance. Checking on it, he sees Kimberly diving into a lake. When he notices that she's not resurfacing, Jason starts to panic and calls out for her. Kimberly, who is actually not drowning, shows up and stops his yelling. Going back to Billy, he detonates an explosive, which creates an opening to the mountain and catches the attention of Jason, Kimberly, Trini, and Zach. Zach confronts Billy because he and his mother are living nearby, but he's immediately stopped by Jason before it gets worse. Billy apologizes for what he's done, saying that he just wants to dig deeper into the mines. Then all of a sudden, a portion of the mountain collapses. When the dust clears, the 5 students see the crystallized part of the mountain. In there, they see 5 colored rocks, not knowing these actually are the power coins. Seeing this, Zach quickly grabs the pickaxe and gets the power coins inside. Unfortunately for them, the mine security is already on its way, so the 5 students run as fast as they can. After getting into the car, Jason and Billy picked up the 2 ladies. Without any idea where Zach is, the 4 continue their escape. To their surprise, Zach jumps on the roof of the car, hitching a ride on them. Seeing a train close by, the group decides to accelerate in hopes of getting over the railroad before the train does. However, they fail miserably and get a direct hit by the train. As they stumble down, the power coin shines on all of them. The red coin on Jason, pink on Kimberly, blue on Billy, yellow on Trini, and black on Zach. Meanwhile, in a fishing vessel, the fishermen are collecting their last catch before going back to the port. Shockingly, along with the fish, they also fish up a mummified body. They put it in the freezer without noticing that the body is coming back to life. The next day, Jason wakes up, surprised that he suffered no injuries after what happened last night. Checking on his pockets, he realizes that he still has the red coin. The same goes for Billy and Kimberly. What's even weirder is that they're in their physical strength. At school, the bully tries to assault Billy again, but this time, he manages to defend himself. After that, he meets up with Jason and Kimberly, and after confirming that something is different with all of them, they all decide to go back to the mountain. There, the 3 of them find that Zach and Trini are also back. When Trini notices them, she runs away, and the 4 chase after her. Using their enhanced strength, speed, and durability, they all manage to jump over the other side of the cliff without any problem. But when it's Billy's turn, he gets overexcited and falls on the cliff. Luckily, for him, it's all water down there and he invites the 4 others to dive, which they did. As the 5 students swim, they all glow corresponding to the color of the power coin they possess. At this time, Billy sees something below them and asks the others to follow him. And to their astonishment, they reach the end of the waters to another dry land. They investigate the place and discover a spaceship. When Jason pulls out his power coin, the door suddenly opens, as if it is responding to it. Just minutes after they set foot inside, the door closes and they see something coming. Scared, the 5 students run away and hide, but Trini is suddenly dragged by a creature. The others immediately come to her rescue, only to find out that it's only a small robot named Alpha 5. According to him, he's been waiting for them for 65 million years. Then, Alpha orders them to step on a platform. At this time, the ship completely gets back online, and so does Zordon's consciousness. As it turns out, before Zordon succumbs to his death, Alpha transfers his essence to the ship's matrix. Scared at all of this, the students try to escape, but they're trapped inside. When Zordon looks at the next Rangers, he cannot believe that the fate of the universe lies in the hands of 5 students, and orders them to show him the coins, to which the students comply. Believing the Morphin Grid never gets it wrong when choosing a Ranger, Zordon declares that Jason, Billy, Kimberly, Trini, and Zack are now the new Power Rangers. Blessed with the power of the Morphin Grid, they are tasked to protect the Zeo Crystal, a gem that is buried on every planet that has life. Zordon and his team died protecting the Zeo Crystal in the very place they are now calling Angel Grove. Hearing this, Kimberly questions the legitimacy and seriousness of the situation, pointing out how ridiculous and unbelievable everything is. Just then, Zordon lifts them from the ground, mentally showing each of them a vision that Rita returns and gets her hand on the Zeo Crystal, killing everyone on the planet. Right now, they only have 11 days to train their newfound strengths to stop Rita's evil plan. With too much information to take, the 4 decide to leave for a while. Before Jason follows the others, Zordon tells him that being the Red Ranger makes him the leader of the group. Zordon is hoping for him to make the right choice and convince the others to take a stand. After their conversation, Jason finds the others waiting for him. He then declares that he will go back to the ship the next day, and leaves the decision to others if they will come back too or not. The next day, Jason is happy to see all of them come back. Inside the ship, Zordon tells them the 3 rules of being a Power Ranger. First, they shall never use their power for personal gains. Second, they shall never start a fight, and do not use their strength to hurt others, unless the situation requires them. And third, they shall never reveal their identities to anyone. After that, he instructs them all to step into the platforms and try to morph into their Ranger form. However, since they're just starting to know each other and don't have any bond yet, they fail. According to Zordon, one key element of being a Power Ranger is to have a connection with each other, thus it also makes it important so that they can morph. But with the very limited time they have, the 5 begin to train even without their armor first. Alpha takes them down the pit where they fight a simulation of Rita's army, the Putties. Seeing them, Zack thinks that they're just holograms. But he's quick to be proven wrong when a Putty punches him straight to the wall. With that, the 5 Rangers begin their combat training. Every day, after doing their personal duties and agendas, they gather on the ship to train hard. Jason and Trini are showing signs of good combat skills, while Kimberly and Zack are also showing potential. But Billy still needs a lot of learning and catching up to do. Together, they are also starting to take down the Putties one step at a time. However, although the combat, they still cannot morph into their Ranger form, which causes frustration among the Rangers. While all of this is happening, it is revealed that Billy already started searching for the location of Zeo Crystal, and to his amazement, he tracks it down under Krispy Kreme, a donut shop. Going back into the pit, to give the Rangers more inspiration to morph, Alpha shows them their Zords, a kind of battle machine that takes on the form of the most powerful animals on the planet, the dinosaurs. These will be the Rangers' greatest weapons during the tough battle. The Rangers all get excited, but Alpha informs them that they can only fully utilize and control the Zords when they finally morph. Despite the reminder, Zack doesn't listen and activates the Black Zord. As expected, Zack cannot control it, nearly causing an accident on a passing civilian car, and takes it back to the ship. Even so, he's still too proud to properly apologize for what he's done, which causes a fight between him and Jason. Seeing his friends fight, Billy stops them while unconsciously morphing into the Blue Ranger. But it doesn't last long. After witnessing everything that has happened, Zordon is disappointed with the new Rangers and orders all of them to go home. Although Billy finally manages to morph, it's just for a few seconds. In addition, Zack's attitude adds to the problem. With that, Zordon feels that there is no hope for them. Inside the ship, he talks to Alpha, saying that Jason's team cannot stop Rita and that he must do the job himself. but he can only be revived using energy generated from the first time the Rangers morphed together. Just then, Jason arrives, overhearing everything. He argues with Zordon about Jason's team as Zordon insists that they're not worthy enough to be the next Rangers. Pissed, Jason says that Zordon's team is dead and just like him, his team also doesn't want the world to end. Meanwhile, the news is broadcasting about a said Angel Grove's gold killer, who has murdered several people and taken their gold in the process. The killer turns out to be Rita, who is now asking for gold from the jeweler. Scared, the jeweler clicks the emergency button as she pretends to give what Rita wants. And to her surprise, Rita melts the gold and uses it on her staff as it grows longer. When she is about to place her green coin on the golden scepter, a police officer arrives, telling her to put her scepter down. She doesn't listen, the officer is then forced to shoot her. But this doesn't scratch Rita even a little bit. She summons her putties, ordering them to kill the lone officer. Going back to the Rangers, they do not go home yet and decide to bond over a campfire instead. There, Zach suggests the idea that they must open up to each other to form the said connection. But as the Rangers open up to each other and share things about themselves, Trini finally asks the million-dollar question. Are they just a team of Power Rangers, or are they truly friends? And everyone falls silent after that. However, things soon take a turn as Rita pays Trini a visit to her room later on. Trini tries to fight her, but she's no match for the former Green Ranger's strength. Rita mocks her for not being able to morph and threatens to kill her, just like what she did to the Yellow Ranger before Trini. She then asks where the Zeo crystal is, which Trini doesn't know. Luckily, Rita believes her. However, she demands that Trini locate the crystal and help her get it in exchange for her life. At the same time at Jason's house, Kimberly visits him, expressing that she thinks she's the reason why they can't morph. It is then revealed that Kimberly got cut off by her friends because she sent her friend's malicious picture to her ex-boyfriend. Due to that, she felt like a horrible person and cannot have the strength to admit her mistake. Jason comforts her, saying that making one terrible mistake doesn't define a person. She just needs to stay true to herself and be the person she wants to be. However, their conversation is cut short when they receive a text from Trini, informing them of what happened. Knowing that Rita's camping on the docks, Jason convinces the others to take on Rita now. But the others are skeptical about it. Billy suggests that they should go back to Zordon and tell him everything they learned about Rita instead. Yet, when Jason reveals to them that Zordon only wants them to morph so that he can be revived, they all agree with Jason and decide to take the matter into their own hands. Arming themselves with whatever they can find, the five of them go to the docks to confront Rita. As it turns out, Rita is already expecting them. They all fight her, but they don't stand against a former Ranger, without breaking a sweat, ties them to a boat. Then, she asks Billy about the Zeo crystal, threatening to kill Zach in front of him. Not wanting his friend to die, Billy discloses that the Zeo crystal is at the land where Krispy Kreme is standing. Despite giving her what she wants, Rita still drops the tied-up Billy into the waters. Before leaving, she calls them unworthy and releases them. The Rangers quickly move and try to save Billy, but it is already too late. With no other options, they take him to Zordon and beg for his help. Seeing how much they care for each other now, Zordon uses the last energy that he's saving for his own revival and revives Billy instead. And now that they finally form their connections, the five friends are ready to morph into the Power Rangers. Feeling the power of the Morphin Grid, the red, blue, yellow, pink, and black Rangers are reborn. Meanwhile, Rita goes to the mining site bringing Goldar, her battle machine that has the same force as 10,000 nuclear bombs. The putties are also summoned to attack the Rangers, who at this time don't have problems killing them off because they already have their armor. But their victory celebration is cut short when Billy alerts them of Rita and Goldar heading their way to Angel Grove. Using their Zords, the Rangers catch up to them. Seeing that the enemies haven't reached Krispy Kreme yet, Jason orders Billy and Zach to secure the place. He and the two ladies will take on Goldar and Rita. In turn, Rita summons more putties to keep the Rangers busy. Upon reaching Krispy Kreme, she sits for a plate of donut first while the Rangers are busy fighting Goldar outside. During the struggle, Jason's dad, who's out looking for him, crashes his car. Witnessing this, Jason makes his way to the car and saves his dad. Going back to the fight, Kimberly picks up Billy and maneuvers to drop him on Goldar and Rita. As the putties collapse, the Rangers think they already won. But as it turns out, the real fight is just starting. As Goldar digs deeper, it opens up a path directly to the Zeo crystal. The Rangers act quickly and block Goldar and Rita's path, but it's not enough to stop them. Then, Rita orders Goldar to push them into the pit to end them. However, as they crash into the pit where the Zeo crystal is, all of a sudden, their Zords transform into a giant robot called the Megazord. Seeing this, Rita fuses herself with Goldar and they engage in battle. Using what they learned from their training, the Rangers wait for the right moment to body slam Goldar on the ground and finish it using the wings of Kimberly's Zord as swords. Rita then emerges from Goldar and mocks them, saying that even if they beat her, others will come for Zeo Crystal, and they will eventually lose. After that, she charges at them, but they just slap her into space. As the battle ends, the civilians cheer for the Power Rangers. The movie ends with Jason, Billy, Kimberly, Trini, and Zack attending the detention class together after Zordon. Thanks all of them for saving the world. Power Rangers, 2017, is an underappreciated film. However, due to its slow pacing, uncompelling characters, and very minimal action scenes, it is not hard to understand where the critics are coming from. But as an origin movie, this film does a very good job of setting up the lore and power system within their universe, which should have been utilized better to form a more interesting plot line. But overall, Power Rangers is still an enjoyable film to watch.